Hello my crafty friends, and welcome to another 10 on the 10th where we make Christmas cards. This is hosted by Kim of Metal Scrap and Chick, and it's been a very busy couple days for me, and let me show you what I've done. The first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. So I highlighted I used my gold Wink of Stella for the pear. I used my shuttle art alcohol markers, and I shaded the leaves, the bird, the berries, and I don't have it handy, but I did use my white gel pen to just highlight the berries a little bit. And then the pot, and then I have a very teeny weeny, and I don't know where I put it, but this was kind of I was trying to figure out what I could possibly put on the front of this, because it still seemed a little bare. I want to do a little sentiment, so I did find this. I don't know exactly where I got it, either Hero Arts or Stampin' Up. But so, and then this one right here is one of the last ones I did. I went through a process, or supposed process, and I went ahead and used Distress Oxide ink, Salty Ocean, and I actually used one of these for this one. I didn't think about that earlier. This makes a nice soft touch as opposed to just the finger dauber. And you'll see as I go, but this is probably the best one out of all these. And so I highlighted it with a bow. And I'll explain my process a little bit as I go. These are all, not all different, but I did do like 3 different types. Okay, and this one, I ran out of the gold paper, and so this is a rose gold that I had one little sheet of, and then I ran out of, I only had one red bow, and you'll see that later, so I used this from Stampin' Up. I bought it when I bought, I think it was the Stitched with Cheer set from several years ago. And the same thing, and I did use my finger dauber with the Salty Ocean. And the backgrounds, the second mat is embossed. This one is with presents. And you can use either the debossed or the embossed side. It's really cool. Now I think this is my first one. See how heavy-handed I got with the finger dauber? But anyway, I had these gold doilies. This is the very first one I put together. I had these gold doilies. And I think that one's a little bit messed up. But I have plenty of these gold doilies. And then the gold bows. I buy my bows pre-made as much as possible. So anyway, and what I did, there are a couple in here, and I will get to those, that I had to cut by hand, and I'll tell you why when we get to those. But this is a snowflake design. This is a snowflake embossing folder. And this is paper I had, Holly and Ivy. It's by Cardabella, and it's really pretty. I mean, you've got almost like a blue-green, I call it Tranquil Tide. It looks like Tranquil Tide, white, red, and just several sheets of that. Two sheets of 3 different colors. Really pretty, 12 by 12. So I decided to do some of that. And then second mat, the first mat is 5 1/4 by 4. But then because I wanted to show this off more, I went ahead and cut the other one 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And that just fit. I don't have the die with me, but this is the shape. It's a label die, nesting dies, and this is the biggest one from Stampin' Up. So I used that, and again the bow that I bought from off of Etsy, and then the gold pear. Now this is the only red bow that I think I had left because I had looked and looked and looked. I bought these bows when I first started crafting for my first Christmas off of Etsy, and I think I finally used them all up. I do have some plaid ones left, but I didn't think they would look good on this. So this is a sheet of, I don't know what kind of gold you would call it, but I did have a couple of smaller pieces of this. So I used this to highlight the gold in the pear. And then here is another, like I did on the first one. But because I didn't have any more red bows, I thought the red would go better to pull this red out than the gold. And again, a piece of gold here. I didn't want to overdo it with another gold bow, so I used the builder punch. And here I used the ribbon. Okay. I thought I had used some of the ones I had to cut by hand. But going forward, I will probably cut the frame first and then stamp, because I stamped all over the page, and then when it came down to trying to put the die on, it didn't work for all of the pieces, so I had to cut some by hand, and I don't know what happened to those. But anyway, this is the same, the holly and ivy paper, and the snowflake, and the heavy-handed the heavy-handed ink. Okay, and then last but not least, one more with the holly, and I used the presents this time, and the gold pear, and the gold bow. I have a lot of ideas for embellishing in the inside of the card. I do have these gold ornaments I think will be really cute, or I have the stockings. And so I will be doing that closer to when I send them. So thank you so much for joining me. And by the way, happy Mother's Day, all you mothers out there. I'm going to be taking a nice little ride with my husband today to honor his late mother. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.